If there's same day appointments, no same day appointments that needs to be put in, I typically put exclusive requests only, because I don't want things to overlap, because then buyers overlap, especially like it gets really confusing. Everybody should have their own requested time. That's just my opinion, but again, that just depends on who the seller is and if they're okay with it. If it's a gated community, make sure you put that in there. How they can gain access, that needs to be notified. This is land, so of course there's nothing there. And usually in the access notes, they put the code of it, and you need to make sure if there's any alarm details, that also needs to be put in the notes as well. And of course, there's any other additional information to give to the agent, this should all be put in there. So let's go to restrictions, exceptions. So let's say your client still lives at the house. They can choose, like, if there's certain days or certain times that they do not want there to be showings, and you just have to add that rule. You just add that rule. If it's for a certain amount of days, if it's on specific days, you just got to do all of that. Just put an add showing rule over here. If it's a one-time rule, if it's always a rule, and you can always put a reason. You don't have to, but yeah. And then of course the listing data, this is just is what shows after when they are showing the house. You usually give some type of like basic information. You don't have to put all this information on there. It's usually, like I said, transferred from the MLS to ShowingTime, so it's honestly up to you if you want to do that, but that's also there. And you can also see if there's any activity. Of course, you see there is people cancel the showing, but it obviously was by the agent, so you can see what's been going on for the past when it comes to this listing. So if there's any feedback or if there wasn't. And of course you can choose to add or not add certain things, and just give, I mean, usually this is if the homeowner requests this type of stuff, but if they're not requesting, then you don't have to do that. But that's basically it when it comes to, so make sure all this is up to date, of course, because this needs to be up to date in order to make sure that your showings go smoothly. So make sure you do all of this right after you post the listing so that they have all this information.